What up? It's your boy T-Bird here on the reaction. Thankfully, I got a little time to do some Wrestling Wednesday, as well as trying to laugh. I got planned to premiere tomorrow for Thanksgiving. You sure already know what it is. But yeah, kicking things off with the video from Plano Production. It's crazy how a while ago I was not feeling that channel because of the video about why baby faces suck. If you saw that video a while back, I was discussing that video. But as of lately, especially what's going on in WWE, I've become accustomed with this channel as of late though. And this is the latest one about WWE is firing everybody. Because you know this past Friday I did a news reaction about the new releases that happened this past Friday, including Hit Row and John Morrison, Drake Maverick, Tegan Knox, and many others. Good news is Jackson Records gone, but still, it's like we afraid what might happen this Friday, the Black Friday at that. But anyway, let's check out this video from Plano on WWE is firing everybody. Now I get a actual reaction of this. Let's get it.
Unfortunately, the WWE made some more releases last night due to budget cuts. A total of 8 superstars were fired, which includes
this guy. I forgot his name is. Yeah, fuck him. That guy.
John Morrison, the entire faction of Hit Row, Drake Maverick for the second time, Jackson Riker, Shane Thorne, and Tegan Knox. I want to spend some time talking about each release individually, and then I want to talk about the real issue with these massive releases every month or so. The first person we need to talk about is John Morrison. He's the biggest wrestler that was released a part of this bunch. I can finally say that the WWE has done it. They have ruined John Morrison from the minute that he made his return. Releasing John Morrison after doing absolutely nothing with him for the last 2 years is one of the biggest waste of talent that they have ever had. WWE really messed up here. John Morrison had the potential to become a main event player in the company. I could have even seen him becoming the WWE or the Universal Champion. Instead, though, they ruined him. And I don't want to really get into it too much because that is for a video for tomorrow, because I am making the moment that the WWE ruined John Morrison.
I will say that next week. I did see that it will come up.
But all I can say right now is that this was a huge mistake. I don't think the WWE understands that they are literally releasing and letting go of some of their best wrestlers on their roster. This man literally went from wrestling Bad Bunny, which was a big prominent match at WrestleMania, to being fired in the same year. It literally makes no sense. The next release we need to talk about is Hit Row. Although
this one pissed me off.
Didn't really click with the group, they could have grown onto me. I honestly don't know, because I really didn't watch NXT when they were there, and it's totally possible that they were just better off in the developmental brand. It wouldn't be the first time that we saw someone who thrived in NXT and were ruined on the main roster. Anyways, this is another strange release because the WWE actually just drafted them a month ago on SmackDown and made it seem like a big deal. It looked as if they were going to be a big part of the SmackDown brand for the next year, especially since the roster is very thin, but that isn't the case. They were all let go, and it's just unbelievable because they just got onto the main roster a month ago. Drake Maverick is the next name that we should discuss. WWE initially fired him last year in April of 2020. However, he made a heartfelt video on Twitter that managed to help him get his job back. Triple H decided to incorporate it into a storyline where he would fight for a contract in NXT. It was a pretty cool idea, even though it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Anyways, he hasn't really done anything too much since that storyline. I was not surprised that the WWE released him because of that reason. It makes sense when they let go of people who they really don't use, and that same thing applies to Shane Thorne. When Retribution ended, the WWE barely used Shane Thorne. So I wasn't really shocked when I saw his name on the list, but it still does suck that he lost his job, but he wasn't a good fit for the WWE. I think he can find
curious to see that little Aussie gimmick is going to have him
some
do
work
too,
and impact down the line. WWE also finally released Jackson Riker. Many fans online have been waiting for this day because of his comments in 2020. Yes, that was not a good look for him, and it put a halt to his run in WWE. It sadly affected the Forgotten Sons, and the WWE did keep Jackson Riker for whatever reason for a while. I guess it's because Vince McMahon liked his build. He was pretty jacked. I personally thought that he was going to be released in the beginning of this year. However, they were persistent with him, and they even repackaged him and tried giving him a babyface run. That was never going to work out. But hey, I appreciate the WWE for trying it. It was pretty funny watching it go down. The last person to be released from this list is Tegan Knox. This is such a disappointment. I thought she had so much potential. Knox was one of my favorites in NXT. She is so gifted in that ring, and she even loves Kane. If you are a Kane fan, I gotta respect you. I thought that she was going to be a big star in the women's division for the future, but then the WWE released her, and that just made no sense to me whatsoever, because like I said, they missed out on a star. Obviously, I don't like the fact that these wrestlers were released because it does suck for them, but there is a bigger problem. The WWE is literally out here firing everybody. And what's even worse is that they are firing people that are on TV involved in storylines. Hit Row was featured in a segment last week with Sami Zayn. That was definitely going to be part of some sort of feud in the future. Even Aleister Black was fired when he made his return to screw over Big E in that Fatal 4-Way match on SmackDown, and then he was fired the next day. The WWE used to release superstars that weren't featured on TV, and many of the old releases were just people that were in catering. It is different now. It's a different story. Nobody is safe. This is also ruining the viewing experience. How can anybody who watches Raw or SmackDown ever connect with any of these new rookies when there's a chance that they could just get fired the next day? I think this is a huge problem that is going to have a trickle-down effect, and we will see a lot of other problems arise because of it, and it might be the downfall of the WWE, or at least for people ever wanting to work for WWE. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much.
Like I said, it's no use of saying, look, you see this, WWE wasting the AJ Styles. That too. It's like no use saying get together WWE, because they're not going to ever get together. This is bullshit. They just going to keep, and it seems like they don't learn from it at all. They still haven't learned from it yet. You know what I mean? At least NXT is doing their thing though too. Even with the 2.0, NXT is doing better than the main roster. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to your channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.